say something now.
There we go.
There we go.
Houston, we got a connection. All right.
Righty.
How y'all doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Good. We can't complain. It's a therapist and relationship marriage counselor, Griselda Ramsey. These are John and Denita Love.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you as well.
All right, so I just got to do a little homework here. Welcome to another episode of Black Marriage Chronicles. It's funny now, where the purpose of the show is to provide content to people who are either married, thinking about getting married, and maybe their marriage is in maybe a couple rough spots, or to help them to be able to navigate through those rough spots. We just want to provide information and feedback to the people who are watching this. Hopefully they get blessed. And the counselor and marriage counselor is here really to provide some context for when you guys share information with us to kind of break it down. She's not here in an official capacity in her job, like to provide marriage counseling, but again, just to provide feedback. And of course, however, if you do feel like it's someone you need to talk, she's definitely there. I'd highly encourage her. She's definitely good at what she does. So again, welcome to my podcast. Thank you for coming on. I do want to say I don't take it lightly that you guys allowed us into your marriage. I do know that this is a very sacred space. I don't take it lightly at all. The thing is that I know I know a lot of married couples. And of course, when I first started this, they were like, yeah, we'll do it. But then of course, once I got going with it, and like, no, and I actually have one wife, she was like, our marriage is not in a safe space to do that. So I say that only to say, it does take a lot of courage to come on here and, reveal intimate things that may have happened in your relationship that you may be dealing with or have dealt with, and then to share that. But again, the goal is to help other people out who may be going through some things. And I think that should be all of our plan. I mean, as human beings on this earth, like to help one another, to help us grow, especially Black marriages, because we are definitely in, it's rare. And the stereotypes that have been put on Black marriages is this is where we hope to break those things right here with the couples who's coming on here sharing their information. So again, I do appreciate it. Want to let you know we don't take it lightly. So I appreciate you allowing us into that safe and that sacred space. So with that, we're going to get started. How are you doing, Miss Denita Love?
Good. I'm good.
I know. It's been a minute since we've seen one another.
I know. It has been a while.
Yeah. When you guys coming to Michigan? Oh.
Don't know.
John, you still got family here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My daughter's there. My mom and three of my siblings and their kids are there.
Okay.
Also. Oh, and I have cousins.
Yeah.
That are there as well.
Okay. Well, you already know when you touch down, you got to reach out to me and Batgirl so we can all get together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So before we get started, we do on the show, we have a couple of games that we play that are inspired by Black game artists. So what I would like for you two to do is decide which game you would like to play. This game is called Naughty Nice. You can play this one if you like. And then we have another one that is called Tonight, Let's Talk. So again, the games are just kind of help to kind of spark some conversation, hopefully some robust conversation, and hopefully make you laugh, kind of break up the monotony of the questions that I may be asking as we're going through the conversation today. And then we got one last game, and this one you can actually get some help on if you want. It's called Culture Tags. So if you want, you can actually call someone, but they have to be on FaceTime or something so we can see it because they can't Google nothing. This one's kind of fun. We played it last night at my sister's house. But I need you to decide now before we actually get started going with the show. Let us know which game you want to play, and then I'll get to going. We'll shuffle up some cards, and we'll kind of go from there.
I'll let him choose the game.
What was it? Naughty or nice?
Naughty and nice. I'm sorry. It's called Naughty and Nice.
That's the one.
That's the one you want to play?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Griselda, it looks like Naughty Nice is winning out here. We got a lot of people choosing this.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Okay. So we'll have some fun. So tell us a little bit. Oh, y'all do understand the assignment, right?
No.
No? Okay. It's funny now. So what I want you to do as we're having conversation is think of times in your relationship where you can look back and say, you know what, it wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. So, and I actually want you to actually say that, like, or if it ain't funny, tell us that too, and kind of share with us why it's still not funny or what was going on. And again, like I said, the therapist is here to kind of break stuff like that down to kind of help couples who may be going through that in that space to kind of help them navigate through that. So
Okay.
you don't have to do that now, but I definitely want you to think about it as we're talking today. All right. So give us a little background on your information. Give us a little background on your relationship. Tell us how long you've been married, your family, kids. Give us I know this, but my audience don't know it, so I need y'all to tell me. You're like, Al, you already know. No, but I want you guys to share with my audience. Tell us in your own words a little bit about your marriage.
We're newlyweds.
Woo, okay.
Like we've only been married for a little bit over a year.
Okay.
So you gotta go outside.
No,
No.
the
All right.
dog decides that
Very
he
good.
wants some attention
Hey,
now.
you know what? On this show, we keep it real. So listen, we got grandparents on here. Your sister was, Sonya was on here. They had we was in the middle of something. She had to walk away. I was like, listen, we ain't editing out nothing. Go do what you got to do. This is real life right here. So I don't hold anybody accountable. You guys are you're married. You got lives going on. I appreciate you taking out the time. But if something happened and you need to take care of it, go ahead. We allow for that. So go ahead. What was you saying now?
So we've been married for a year and 2 months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're still happy.
Okay.
Well, that is true.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, I don't know the right word for this. So you guys kind of got married later in life. Now, were there previous relationships, marriage? Where did you come from, and how did you come together?
Well, this is the second marriage for the both of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we met at work.
Okay.
I didn't know her at first.
You knew my sister.
Yep, I knew her sister. Her sister and I worked together. Well, we worked at the same job.
Okay.
And she came to visit her sister, and I saw her, and I was like, nice looking woman,
Okay.
And that was it.
Then he stalked me.
So the second time she visited her sister, I tell everybody she had a girly girl on. Okay. Not to say that she didn't have a girly girl on the first time I met her, but the second time it was girly girl plus. That's how I'm gonna put it that way. So I said, man, that is an attractive woman, and she was talking and laughing with someone. I was like, she has an amazing smile. So we were introduced again by her sister, but when she left, I guess she was going back to her job. She insulted me and another guy that I don't know if you knew Robert Travis.
No.
Okay. He worked at ACN when we moved to North Carolina.
Okay.
But anyway, so she called us Robbie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike.
I couldn't remember their names.
Because she couldn't remember our names. So she said, so I was like, did she just call us New Edition? But I told her sister, I said, well, the next time you see her sister, tell her she better remember my name. And after that, they had a party. I think her sister was it her 40th?
Yeah, her 40th.
Her 40th birthday party. I was invited to.
Okay.
And it got a little crazy. We all had a blast.
Okay.
We all had a great time. People still talk about it to this day.
Okay.
That's how much fun we had.
Look, them the kind of parties I like to go to, baby, where they still talking about.
Yeah,
So-
I think it was made kind of clear that night.
Yeah. So basically, I just told all the guys, because there were a lot of guys, they were talking about who they're going to talk to and do this and that. And I just told them straight up, y'all can do this.
I'm sorry, y'all was on some high school stuff, huh?
You would think that.
He's like, yeah.
You would think that, right? You would think that. But I just told him, I said, well, I don't care who you talk to. Just don't talk to Denita, because that's who I'm talking to.
Okay.
They were like, okay, cool. So sorry, my computer is not the phone, but my laptop. I was trying to load the Zoom on there, but it was acting kind of janky.
Okay.
So I don't need that part anymore, so I'm gonna shut it down.
All right, no worries. What was I gonna say? So, Denita, did you know all this? Or are you just hearing this now? Or y'all?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, we talked about it.
Okay.
Later as time when I found out
And
that he had shut down everything at the party, and but we had stayed pretty close to one another, during the party anyway. So people kind of knew that we were feeling one another. So
oh, nice.
it
Okay.
wasn't, like we had to be like, you stay away from him, because
Okay.
before women were approaching him too,
Okay.
asking, if their outfit looked right for the night.
Oh, man.
Getting his opinion.
Oh, nice. So then it sounds like there was a mutual attraction.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Was it? I don't know if I want to say love at first sight, but I don't know how else to phrase it. Was it kind of love at first sight, or attraction at first sight? What you say?
Definitely attraction. Probably love at first sight for her.
Okay.
But for me,
Oh my goodness.
It was some deep attraction.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
there was definitely
Nice.
a deep attraction.
But it didn't take long for love to follow.
Oh,
Once
I
we
wish I
started
had
talking.
I wish I could have some hearts come on the screen right now. Just everywhere. That's good. Listen. Well, Denita, that's my brother, and I am so happy for him. I really, Griselda, maybe you can answer, kind of give us some context on this. How is it? Because I'm on my second marriage as well, but what is it like for couples? I mean, for them, especially later on in life, to get remarried and to just find love again, and it's later on in life. Like, what do you yourself up?
I think that it's a great thing. I'm in my second marriage also, and I remarried I was in my late 30s. So I think the beauty of it for many people is that you kind of learn those things you needed to learn along the way, depending on when you got married the first time. And so you have a little time to get a little seasoned, a little wiser, get your game plan out the way, and hopefully heal from those previous relationships. And so when you do it the second time, and even for some people the third time, God bless, right, you kind of understand who you are at that point and what you need at that point. Hopefully that's where you are. And so when you go into that next relationship, you go in that relationship a more mature person, understanding what your role is and what your needs are, and what your vice versa, what you're actually bringing to the table for the person that you're going to be partnering with. And so it can be a great thing. I know for me, that's what it was, a great thing. My husband and I both, this is our second marriage also. So it was a great thing for both of us. And for many people, it's the same thing. Like, you just kind of, get all that stuff out the way. And, hopefully there's been, like I said, some healing going on, some growing going on. And when you do it again, you can have a really strong, healthy marriage the second time.
Let me ask you guys this. Did you ever at any point because there was a strong attraction, but did you ever at any point like ask yourself, like, do I want to get remarried? Or were you open to getting remarried even before you kind of, you two hooked up?
Yeah, I had been divorced for, I had been divorced for many years before I met John. So I was always open to marriage. My first marriage, we were just young, and I knew that. So I wasn't closed off to finding someone again. I was just worried that I wouldn't be able to find someone to love me like my ex-husband loved me, because we really did love each other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I would be able to find that type of love again. And when I did, it was so much greater than what I could have imagined.
Oh, wow.
And so, but I was never closed off to it. I was, it was taking time. I was like, somebody come get me. Come get me.
Well, what about you, John?
Well, so I was married for 21 years before I divorced. Wow. So, that has, and I have 2 kids, that now.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things to consider before starting to date again, starting to want to be involved with someone again. Mm-hmm. And being open to that person. One of the things I was concerned about was would I have to date several women to find someone who's going to love me the way I need to be loved and want to be loved, and that I can love the same way.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that's not the case. I did not have to spend that energy on several people trying to find love again. I thought that was going to happen because when you fall in love with someone and when you marry that person, you don't marry that person to divorce them.
Right. And
when you've been with that person for years, there's a whole lot of energy that you guys transfer with each other.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So your mindset is, do I want to build a new foundation? Do I want to do this again? I said when I met her, as we were getting to know each other, if I fell in love with her, I was definitely going to ask her to marry me.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Okay. There's so many things that clicked with Denita that just if I had a book that had all the tools, not all the tools, but all the wants and needs that I want, she checked them all for me. I was like, yep, this is, all these things. And that was very important to me. I said I was not going to settle.
Griselda, is he related to the man from the last episode we did? Because I'm hearing a pattern here.
Oh, it's a good pattern. It's a very good pattern.
Absolutely.
Yeah, talk about your partner in the way that really honors her and shows her what she brought to your life. And, that's not always easy for men to talk about in that manner. So kudos to you for really, and when I'm hearing him talk, I'm really hearing that he took some time and did some work and really understood what he needed in his life at that time and what he wanted to give also. And when he said I didn't want to have to date a lot of women, I said he wanted a one and done type of thing. Like, let her, when I start dating, let her be the one, because I don't want to keep doing this.
No, and I did, and I was truly blessed to have found her.
Yeah, he was very clear about what he wanted, and he wasn't in this to just be in it. It wasn't a passing fancy, for him. He was looking for someone, the one, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
So, Denita, how does that make you feel? Like, what do you, when I have to imagine, for at least for women, when you meet a man who states like, listen, I'm not trying to be out here dating. This is what I'm looking for, because you typically don't get that from men. And I don't know if that is attributed to because it's his second time around. I don't know. But I'm saying, how did that make you feel?
When he, because, it was a certain day that he said this to me, we were at work and, he called me downstairs to, have a little chat with him. And while he was telling me that, I'm feeling you. I really want to get to know you. I really want to be with you. You light up my life. He didn't say that, but that's what he did.
That's how you took it.
I remember it.
That's how you remember it.
I light up the sun, the moon, the stars.
Wow, that may be true. I didn't say that, but she does that for me.
Okay.
But I called it down and I stated my intentions.
Yeah.
Good.
I wanted to be, I've always felt that we deserve the right, man or woman, to have choices. And I'm only gonna get two things out of this statement that I made to her. She's either gonna be like, yeah, I'm really into this, I want to do this too, or she's gonna be like, no. But at least I have the choice and she has the choice. So if she said no, I can pursue her some more or just step aside and keep it moving. If she said yes, then we keep it popping.
How did you say no? The thing that he said to me, it truly, it filled my heart, because like you said, most men don't really talk about their feelings and tell you up front how they feel about things. And so when he did that meant a lot to me. Awesome. That is forever sealed in my heart. What he did. And that was just one of the things that I think we often talk about. Do we remember when we fell in love, and that could probably be the moment, that he's the one, but here we are. Here we are.
Yes, that is awesome to hear. It really is. And very, very, definitely very refreshing, especially coming from, and I say Black men because sometimes we just get the negative stereotype placed around us when it comes to relationship and marriage. You just broke that. Like it doesn't apply. So that's definitely awesome. Do you consider yourself, and I know y'all only been married a short while, but do you consider yourself a good husband and wife? If so, why? Can you give us some, kind of explain?
Do we consider ourselves a good husband?
Do you consider yourself a good husband? And then I'm asking your wife, does she consider herself a good wife? How and why? Just explain a little bit. Why do you feel that you are?
Well, good husband, great husband. Why? Because as far as being a man for a woman, I am for her, meaning I'm giving her all of me. I'm not interested in anyone else. I'm not interested in playing games. If another woman that she knows, or even another woman, period, approaches me in a bad way, meaning that she's touching and fondling and all that type of stuff, I'm gonna tell her like I'm a kindergarten telling her somebody. Because I want you to know. I want you to know that you're gonna hear this from me first before
this
you hear
lady touched me inappropriately.
Yeah. But I'm working on marriage is something you do every day. Some days it's easy, some days it's hard, some days are in between. You know the old saying, in it to win it. Yeah. I'm in it to win it. I want to live the rest of my life with this woman. Okay, I'm not afraid to tell. Never been afraid to tell anyone that, but I don't care who knows about it. This is my wife. She's the apple of my eye. She means the world to me. So I do everything I possibly can, that I can think of to stay on point with her. Okay. And sometimes we're lock and step in a lot of things, but you can make missteps, because we're still learning. For us, we are two I won't say two new people learning each other because we've known each other for a good while, but there's always something new to discover about one another.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not perfect, far from it. I know she's not perfect, far from it. But
that would have been my wife. Like that would have been her.
It's something that we work at every day. You know, I will hope that she never has to wonder how I feel about her. You know, that is my goal.
Absolutely, I like that.
Yeah, that was beautiful, John. What about you, Denita?
She works my nerves all the time.
No, I think like John, for I am a good wife for him.
Okay.
He needs me.
I think it's we need each other.
We do. I would say we definitely need each other. He picks me up where I need to be picked up, and he does those things that I need. That, you know, we complete each other. We just fit in that little puzzle. You know, those little puzzle pieces. We fit, and it's a good match. Where I fall short, he's there to catch. Where he falls, I'm there to catch and pick and support. You know, him is. I don't think we could have picked a better, you know, match for each other. If we tried it, just prayers aren't answered.
It just works. Hey, it just works. I'm not mad at you, right? How does that make you feel to hear your husband speak about you in that manner?
One thing he has always done is make sure that I know how he feels at all times about me. Mm-hmm. And I am very secure in how he feels about me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know that this man loves me, that he's there to take care of me, you know, and that he wants to see me happy. I have no doubts, you know, about where I stand with him, where he stands with me. Mm-hmm. He's done that. He's never made me feel less than.
Okay. What do you remember the day? I want to talk about the vows. I was going to ask you, do you remember the day he proposed? Do you remember the day he proposed? Do you remember how you felt when he did it?
We can't tell. We can't talk about it.
Okay. Okay.
This is a G-rated show, right?
Not really. Listen here. Listen, not really. This is not made for kids. I'll just say that. We all grown in this room. Hey, listen, we all on our second time around. So listen here. Let's talk about it.
Let me put it to you this way. We were so busy with the day-to-day that the opportunity, what I would consider a great opportunity to propose, just did not swing itself around.
Okay.
And so that morning, I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna propose to her today.
Step out of frame.
So she was in the closet finding clothes to wear. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave that part, and I just got on bend the knee and say, hey, you know, we've just been so busy with what's going on and everything, and it just does not seem like the appropriate or the right opportunity is going to come. If you want a picture perfect proposal, it doesn't look like it's going to come. So, Denita, will you marry me?
Okay. And in your birthday suit.
In her birthday suit.
That's crazy. You
can't get more vulnerable than naked.
No.
I mean, you really can't. Like, what Denita, were you like, why would you ask me this right now?
I was like, well, the version that we're going to tell everybody is. we went to dinner.
Oh, that's right. That was the version that we were supposed to say. Well,
that was the person that well, I'm glad. Listen,
I thought that she was dressed when she was in the closet when I went there, but she wasn't. And I was like, you know what? There's no turning back.
You're right, John. Like, I'm in this thing now. Look, I'm almost there. Let's just get it. I'm about to do this. I hear you, bro. I hear you. All right, so let's play. Well, before we do that, so tell us about a time in your marriage or in your relationship since you've been together. Like, how long have y'all been together? I know y'all been married a short while. How long have y'all been together? Why do we always get this? Here we go. When I ask that question.
So we've been together. Wow.
Look at the wife drinking her pop like he better get this right. He better get this right.
12 years?
10 years.
10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. And married almost a year and a half?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about a time in your marriage and relationship, just overall, the total time you've been together, where you can look back and be like, it wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. Like it, because I believe those moments really, because we all have them, and whether they're funny or not, you're on the other side of it. How they kind of build character in your marriage, make you a little bit stronger, how to be able to deal with the next situation that comes up. What was one of those moments for you? Moments for you?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Planning our wedding. So we've had like 300,000 secret meetings on how our wedding was going to go. Yes. So I would get an ideal from her and say, hey, let's do this way. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Next thing you know, let's go for a ride. Seriously, like I'm about to be put down or something. So we go for a ride. We stop in the park. Here's a new plan for the wedding. Like, okay, no problem. We're good. We're good. Okay, we'll change it. Next thing you know, here's a new plan for the wedding. I want to do it this way. I'm fine with that, honey. So what I'm thinking is, will you make up your Mickey Ficky mind and let's roll with it? But it was always something new. And that was working my nerves. I understand that, I'm trying to understand. It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. We know that. I got that. But I'm the type of person when we set this plan to go this way, let's go this way. Okay. Now, if something pops up on our route to it, okay, we can deal with that. So we agreed on that. Next thing you know, here's another ride to another park or to Publix or to Food Line parking lot or the Walmart parking lot. I'm like, okay, we're going to get some groceries. Baby, I want to talk to you about the wedding. Oh. I'm like, wait a minute. So now that I think about it, is it one of those situations where you want to be out in public? So I won't go off on you or something like that. That way you have witnesses. Was that what you was trying to do?
Yes, because I was in fear of my life for changing cleaning.
Denita, why were you picking public places that had this conversation?
That's where I do my best thinking on a drive. A ride. Take it for a drive, a ride,
So, looking back at that, it's funny. I'm assuming you're saying it's funny now. It wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. When you look
it was stressful. It was very stressful.
Okay. All right. What about you, Denita? You have a moment that you think that you can think of where it was like, it wasn't so funny then, but I can laugh about it now.
Well, I mean, we talked about that, and we were talking about, the divorce.
Oh, yeah.
The who?
The divorce.
Whose divorce?
Mine.
Oh, okay. All right. So tell us about it. Tell us about what wasn't funny then and is funny now. Like,
it was because, they were separated at the time that we met, so
Okay.
he was not fully divorced. So going through that, it was the emotional roller coaster
Okay.
during those times, that we went through, because here we are in this fresh start relationship that we're trying to get off the ground and keep moving and going.
Mm-hmm.
But it was tough.
Yeah. So what was it? Oh, I mean, I hear you saying what about it wasn't funny, but what makes it, now that you're on the other side of it, why do you feel like you can look back at it and laugh now?
Because well, because during those times you're so uptight about things, and so tight, just tightly wound, that the things that I don't know if it's necessarily funny, it's just that when we look back of what we went through, I think it helped shape our relationship too, because it made us talk about how we wanted things between us.
Okay.
There were, I mean, let me see what I can and cannot talk about that, so I better still live here tonight. But I would just say that was just a very tough time that we went through, but we worked through, and we can look back at it and be like, we made it. We made it, because it was a emotional time for him, definitely, to go through.
Yeah.
And it makes you question, and it made me question if this was the right thing.
Okay.
And should we wait.
Okay.
Are you rushing into anything, but like I said, we crossed so many hurdles and so many rocky paths, but we came through together, and I think stronger on the other side of it, because you had to have some real true conversations about how you wanted life to go, or to be with this other person.
Right.
And I feel like we conquered a lot, and it just helped solidify our relationship.
Were at any time during that process, were you feeling, because I heard you mention, you felt like maybe, is it something maybe we should wait? Are we rushing it? Were you like truly, I mean, sound like were you second guessing it at any point? At any point?
We broke up.
Did you communicate that to John?
Yeah. And whatever. It's like, I'm very articulate.
And John, like, how did you receive that, and what did you do to assure your wife, like, hey, this is what I want? I mean, I know you as a person, you know what I'm saying? When we first met, I mean, you were definitely like a brother to me, and we've had conversations about a lot of different things. But how did you communicate that to your wife? That's like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be, to reassure her that y'all was going to arrive at this point where you are today.
So let's take a step back real quick. When I was separated, I met Denita. When we got serious, I told her what was going on in my life. I told her, got kids. Well, here's a funny thing. So, because I have to say it because it helps with the story. So when we first started kind of talking, or when we first got interested in each other, she popped me up trying to tell me about me, what's going on in my life. Okay. So I responded back telling her about what's going on in her life.
So wait a minute, was this conversation happened via text?
Yes, via IM at work. So the IM was, I heard you have a wife and 2 kids. And my response is, yes, but I am separated. But I heard that you have a boyfriend. Okay.
Okay.
And so her response was, yeah, kind of, sort of. Okay. So just so you know, I wanted her to know, just like you heard and what you think you know about me, I know about you. Because one thing I do is, if I'm interested in you, I'm gonna find out what you're about.
Okay.
So when we really sat down and started talking, I told her, hey, you know, I'm getting divorced because I have already asked my wife, not asked her, told her that that's where we're going because we're no longer happy with each other. I'm just gonna leave that piece that way. And kind of like the timeline on when I expected this to happen. Now, there's that timeline, but there's a whole lot of junk and drama and chaos that goes in that timeline.
Right.
That she witnessed, she was exposed to, and she helped me through it.
Okay.
Okay. So when, like she said, we broke up, she was the hardest person to break up with.
Denita?
Yes. And that's saying something because, again, married for 21 years before divorced, we were already at the point where we weren't working out. So it, not to say that it was easy, but it was not as difficult to say, you know what, to have that conversation. You know, it's not working out with us. You know, I've asked for what I want and what I need. You asked for what you want and you need, and we're not coming together on that. So that's where we're gonna go.
Okay.
When she and I broke up, I told her I really don't know how to do this because it's really not what I wanted to do. And you know that's true because we end up back together and we're married now.
Okay.
So that was very difficult to do this because in my heart, I'm in love with this woman. I want this woman. I need this woman. You know, I can live on my own. You know, I could be by myself. That's never been a concern. And I can help raise my children. Well, they're grown now, thankfully.
Right.
But, you know, partner with their mom, my ex-wife. I can do that by living on my own. But why should I have to when I know that there's this person who loves me just like I love her? You know, there's this person, she always told me that, you know, when I look at her, you know, I tell her, you know, you make me sick. And I mean that in a good way because I love you so much. You just, you work my nerves, you know, but she gives me the same thing. So that's what brought us back together, you know.
Y'all, what brought you to the breakup though? I guess I'm missing that part.
Okay, family. So, you know, I'm huge on family. You know, my kids are my world. And trying to work out a relationship to have your family isn't the right reason. But when it pulls in your heartstrings, what are you gonna do? My children were going through a whole lot of stuff because of the divorce. They definitely were not accustomed to me not being there physically, because I was always there. You know, I would always go visit them, make sure they had all the things that they need, spent time with them, phone conversations, all that stuff. You know, my daughter takes the bus to school. I was taking her to school when she could jump on the bus and do that, you know, school bus, just to say some things, just to let them know that I'm there.
Right.
But they were really going through it a lot. They were. And because they were really going through it, I was going through it. And the simple solution was go back and be with your family. But is that the true solution? And that was not the true solution, because again, even though I'm there in the house with you guys, their mom and I, we were not connecting. We were not connecting. And it would always be something, you know. So I'm just gonna say it. It was like, fuck it. I can't do this. You know, we broke up. We had a huge fallout. My son even said he knew that his mom and I were done because I cussed her out. And in all the arguments we've had, I've never cussed her out. And she would tell them, when your dad cusses you out, that means he's done. Because I'm only speaking on my side.
Yeah.
I have taken the steps to do what we said we were going to do. And it can't be one. It has to be the both of us. You have to have that ebb and flow. We no longer had that. And there were things that were going on that was really becoming detrimental to my health and to me getting well. I had to have a back surgery one time, and after I had the surgery, you know, you're on meds for the pain and everything. And because of so much was going on there, I could never get the rest that I need from the meds because I'm burning them up. The doctors are telling me your adrenaline is burning them up because of whatever is going on in your house.
Stress that was going on. Yeah.
Right. So, long story short, we were done. We started talking back again. Here we are.
Okay. Griselda, do you want to kind of touch on that? Like, I definitely think we need to unpack that as much as we can. I mean, that was a lot there. And I could still see the pain and emotion on John's face from even just, and that was a while ago, I'm assuming, right? I mean, of course, you guys been, that was a while. That's over 10 years ago. Like, can you help us break that down a little bit?
So did it take 10 years for the divorce to happen, or that was just the process of the divorce and then you all getting back together and all of that kind of stuff?
No, it didn't take 10 years for the divorce to happen. That was in the process.
Okay. So when you decided and your wife decided the first time it wasn't going to work out, did you have a conversation with your kids?
Yes.
Okay. So I think, you know, because that does sometimes, Al, you and I were just talking about this, about staying together for the sake of the kids, I think yesterday. And generally it does more damage than it helps, you know, generally, because what generally happens is, yes, we're going to decide to stay together for the kids, but the people who are in that relationship, nothing really changes for them. So we're still just kind of like coasting along separately, but in the house together. And so the kids, depending on their ages, you know, it can be more emotionally harmful for them to be in an environment like that when they still see like, you know, sometimes you have a situation with, you know, mom and dad, they're not even sleeping in the same room, or she gets up and do her own thing, he does his own thing. Yeah, when it comes to the kids, we do that together. So it's just a lot of dynamics in those kind of relationships when people decide to stay together for the sake of their children. And like I said, a lot of times emotionally, even, like he's saying, even for him, it was a lot for him to kind of even deal with that emotionally, and then trying to heal and go through that. But you were trying to, in your heart, do the right thing for your kids, which is very honorable and noble to do that. And you know, but sometimes, like you said, at the end of the day, it just was not, it was just so, probably sounds like it had become toxic for you emotionally by that time when you decided, like, F it, I can't do this. And so, which at that level, again, is more emotionally harmful for the kids. And that at that point, kids tend to be overall resilient, and even in the interim, you know, while change is difficult, when you've been in the house 21 years with the same people, you know, that's a loss. You know, it's not a loss to death, but it's still a loss, and a loss in the way your life looks. every day you wake up. And so that is hard to navigate through that. And it's just a grieving process that people go through because it's still a loss. But it's oftentimes, you know, kids are resilient and they will, with the right dynamics in place, meaning that we still respecting and loving each other as, because we're family at the end of the day. Though you're not married to your wife, she's still part of your family because of your kids. You know, how you navigate that can still make the transition of divorce better option, as opposed to staying in a relationship that is ultimately toxic for everybody in the house. Like, you know, and I'm not saying that specifically was your situation, but oftentimes that is the situation. Okay. Okay. So which is really what I see, you know, oftentimes that is the situation. So nobody wins in the end of that. Nobody wins.
So the kids ultimately end up paying the price for it, but little do we know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so if you had just decided to go forward, you could have did, you know, some family counseling. There's a lot of things you could have did to help them recover. Like I said, I don't know how old your kids were at that time, but you know, kids can be resilient and bouncing back is if with the right circumstances, you know, with the right circumstance, and knowing that, like, while dad's not in the house, dad is still here. And dad loves you. This has absolutely nothing to do with how I love you and your mom, how she loves you either. Has nothing to do with that. So the dynamics have to be in place to help kids kind of bounce back when their lives change from what they once knew.
Yeah. Denita, how is your relationship with the kids? Do you have children?
No.
Okay. How is your relationship with John's kids?
So it has always been cordial. It has always been cordial, and I think in the recent years, and especially after we've gotten married, better. I think they're letting me in, you know, a little bit more, and easier. And so, you know, I'm looking forward, you know, to when I see them and we spend time together. Now it's getting a little easier and everything. So I look forward to, you know, now I look forward to seeing them, spending time with them, hearing from them.
Griselda, and again, we're not asking you to counsel this couple with, and I think they pretty much got what they needed. But my question to you is, if you were counseling them, what would you tell them as far as like the kids are concerned? Because I still, just listening to Denita, like she's saying, you know, the relationship with the kids has gotten better. That's been cordial, but to really foster because I would have to assume that the kids probably think as long as dad is happy, they're happy. But I know kids, they love their mom. They don't want their mom to be unhappy. And I don't know what mom is saying to them on the back end, but what would you do in order to make that relationship, the relationship between Denita and her bonus children, be a lot more, I guess, healthier? I don't know the right word.
So oftentimes, because of what he's saying that had transpired in arriving at the final destination of divorce, there was a lot of emotion in that. And so for me, I would just advise that you allow that relationship to happen organically, because to push it will probably push them further away. And kids, what people do not often realize when it comes to divorce, they think that, especially like your kids are younger, they think that, okay, this is what we're doing for us, not realizing that the children are the casualties of war and divorce. And I remember counseling a family before, and the kids were really like, they just felt like they were not heard at all. And it's not intentional. You're just trying to navigate your anger, your fed upness, your tiredness in the relationship. You're just trying to get out the situation unscathed, basically. And you're not intentionally not trying to, forget about the kids, but you just think that, okay, we love them, we're showing we love them, and they're okay, but they are the casualties of war in a relationship, in a divorce. And so beyond that point, I think it's best to allow it to happen organically. Like for me, my son was 6.5 when I remarried. My husband's daughter, because we both brought a child into marriage, which we don't call bonus or step at all. We just say our kids. Okay. She was 16 when we got married, so she was a lot older, and she didn't really, in her mind, my son and I were going to take her dad away from her. So it's just like, it wasn't like super tough, but I just let it happen organically. And I think, like you're saying, you were cordial and there was a mutual respect, but to allow it to happen organically, the person once they see that you're consistent, for the most part, like I've seen horror stories on the other side of that situation with kids, like they don't care how good the woman is or the guy is. They just like, I don't like you because you're not my mama and you're not my dad. I've seen that. But being consistent and loving their parent, which is what my daughter says. She's like, how happy I made her dad, and we're family. So letting it happen organically is my best advice in that situation, because sometimes the other parent of the children will push and push and push, like, oh, you're gonna be this way with her, you're gonna do this with him, and it's that blows up also. So if you allow it to happen organically, being consistent with showing love and showing genuineness, because at the end of the day, kids respond to truth and they respond to what's genuine. They do respond to that. So in that way, hopefully you'll have a better outcome in time, because healing still has to take place for them. They have to go through their own grief process of the loss of their family as they once knew it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's I think it's a lot better. We see my son, because my son's still here in North Carolina.
Okay.
So we see him, I would say, better than every blue moon.
Okay.
But I mean, he's going on 20, DeAndre be what, 25? He's going on 29, so he's doing the song.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And DeAndre is 25, and she comes and visits us Thanksgiving, and probably in the summertime also, if she can get away.
Okay.
So
at some point, a couple of years ago, I came to John and I was like, I'm just gonna take a step back, from the kids, and just, give them space and breathing room, and when they're ready, because I'm always here, for them, whether they know it or not, I love them, and I want to be there for them, but I'll be there as much as you want me to be there for you.
Okay.
So I let them run the show on how, where we go.
And I think that goes back to what Griselda was saying about it happened organically. You do kind of have to step back as the non-parent of the children to kind of allow them to, to kind of come into your space whenever they feel, it's necessary. And eventually, like you said, like she said, I think with consistency and time, that what you're feeling end up waning, going away, because now they know, hey, this also, she's not trying to take my mom's spot. This is my dad's wife, and he loves her, so I love her, and it just kind of happens. I don't think you can kind of you can't kind of I don't think you can put your finger on it. It just kind of
it's happening. The last time DeAndre was here, she was like, we don't talk enough when I'm here, and we don't do enough when I'm here. And I'm like, well, you just let me know what you want to do, and we'll plan some time together and do it. So I think we're coming together, like you said, organically. It's coming, and it feels good. It feels good.
Absolutely. When you get those first Mother's Day cards or those cards for your birthday, and they say like, to my mother, just those moments of getting that, you if you weren't certain how they really felt in those moments, it almost brings tears to your eyes, really, at those moments. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I do want to ask a couple questions from the game, Naughty Nice. I just feel like this hour is just not enough time. You guys have really, we getting close to the end. Y'all really shared a lot of information, and I appreciate it. So let's just ask a couple questions from the game. Okay. A couple is celibate until marriage. On the honeymoon, the wife finds out the husband. Y'all asked for this. I'm just gonna say it. Okay. A couple is celibate until marriage. On the honeymoon, the wife finds out the husband dick is small, so she wants a annulment because he didn't tell her. Who's wrong? A, the wife for being shallow. B, the husband is for being deceitful. Or C, both of them. Or D, neither of them.
Well, the husband wasn't deceitful unless she asked, "Hey, how big is your dick?" Now, if he said it was big and she found out it wasn't, then he was being deceitful.
For sure. That is a crazy question. Lord have mercy.
They chose this game. I gotta read the question. What do you say, Denita?
I say both. I mean because
you say C.
Both of them because he knew. He knew. And she should have told her. My dick small. But I got other things to offer. Okay.
So, wait. So how was he supposed to say that?
Baby.
When was he supposed to say that?
My dick small.
He's supposed to what are you doing? They driving?
I don't care.
Hey,
you tell me.
There's something on my mind that you need to know.
You tell me.
I cannot wait for Sonya to see this.
Well, she will molest you anyway.
Oh, that's what we don't know.
Yep.
So listen. So one of my questions that I ask couple when it's time to go down, who's the aggressor? So I'm gonna take it that Denita's the aggressor when it comes to sex. She like, yeah.
No.
He said no. She said
no.
He like, yes.
No.
Oh,
she's not.
Oh my God. I can't wait for Sonya to see this one. I know as soon as I finish and get this done, I'm gonna call her like, you gotta watch this. Okay, look. Here's another question. A woman kicked her husband out of the house after a heated argument. A week later, she admitted she was wrong, but then found a box of unopened condoms in his car. Who was wrong? A, he was, of course. B, she was for kicking her husband out. Or C, they both were. Or D, neither were wrong.
So we get in a fight and you go buy a box of condoms. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, let me read it again. A woman kicked her husband out of the house after a heated argument. A week later, she admits she was wrong, but then found a box of unopened condoms in his car. Who was wrong?
So let me just say, if I go to your car, we married. We're not divorced, but we're married. And I go to the car and you have a box of condoms in your car, we will probably be divorced. And it's the quickest I can get to the lawyer is so.
So you're saying he's wrong. So let's get to the real question. Why did she kick him out of the house? And secondly, how did he allow that to happen? Because we can argue all day. I am not getting kicked out of my house.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, the old seasoned sisters used to say, "Don't send your man to the streets."
That's right. That's right.
Don't send your man to the streets, because somebody just might pick him up.
Oh my God.
Box of condoms.
That was too funny.
I think both would be wrong in that regard, because for her, you know, it's one thing to need a timeout. Like, hey, you go in your corner in your space, or even you go take a drive, or you go somewhere for a couple of hours.
Right.
But we ain't ready this house.
Right.
We not ready to start doing that. And then to go buy condoms, like, although they were unopened, but you had a thought.
Yeah.
That's right.
You had a thought to lick your wounds with another woman.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that they both were wrong.
So go ahead. So keep going. Keep rolling.
You know, they had a big thing on you watch divorce court. Like, we were on a break. Now, what's a break? Like, you still married. They're not on no break.
They ain't no break now. You gonna break in that room, and I'm gonna break in this room. But yeah, that's how that's gonna go.
And you better not be watching any of the shows that we supposed to be watching together.
I'm gonna have to tell my wife that just because you mad at me, we still gotta watch our shows together.
Right. That is not an argument for real. You watch a show, we watch together. Oh, you gonna watch it without me? Oh my goodness.
Oh man. And you know what? That ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna do nothing but start a whole nother argument. Like, for real, we getting back to it now. You mad because I watched the TV show you was in there. That's too much. Okay. Here's the other question. Y'all chose this game. Okay. How many positions do you require to make you orgasm? A, 2 or more. B, 4 or more and in different places. C, just 1, but done correctly. Or D, if you're able to count, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong, you don't know.
Right.
If the person knows what they're doing.
1.
2. John, I love her. Sister, I love you. I love you because you kept it real. And I can't wait to tell Sonya to look at this.
2.
What? Because there's 2 different ways you can get there.
Okay. I
get what she's saying now. Okay.
My wife over here throwing her thumb up like, yes. Oh my God. All right, y'all. So I do, and listen, I definitely want y'all back on, man. I feel like an hour is not enough time, but it was been an absolute pleasure talking to y'all. But I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. We said an hour, so we want to make sure we kind of stick to that. And again, I do not take lightly with you allowing us into your space in your marriage. I appreciate you being so transparent. Y'all were an absolute pleasure to talk to. I'm thankful for this platform. I'm thankful for God putting this on my heart. Like I said, it's been a year in the making. I've been talking about it for a while. The therapist here, she's actually a client of mine. Well, you know I'm a personal trainer, so she's a client of mine. So when she came in and I found out what she did, I was like, that was confirmation for God. Let's get this done, because I always said I kind of want a therapist on here to kind of help break things down. So when she came in and we started training together, and I met her, I told her about my idea. I said I would be, if it's something that you want to do, I can, have you on the show or whatever, in any capacity that you'd like to be on. She was like, sure. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. So again, I am very humbled. The fact the couples that I've had on here so far, it's been a very positive response. People have been coming. I have people that said no, but the people that have said yes have been very open, honest, and transparent about their marriage and relationship. And I don't take it lightly, the fact that you allow people into that personal space, because the marriage is sacred. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely appreciate the fact that you're willing to share the information and hopefully help someone else who's going through this, who thinking about marriage. And there's a couple things that I didn't get a chance to ask you guys. I wanted to talk about marriage vows and other stuff, but we didn't get a chance to get into that. And maybe the next time we will. But again, I am very appreciative of you guys allowing us into your space, really, and being so transparent and being fun too. Like, I'll be honest, those questions in this game, not nice. As soon as I saw them, like, do you need?
Well, I can't send this to Mom to watch.
What you say, Denita?
I said I can't send this to Mom to watch.
I'm like, should I be asking? But anyway, no. But thank you for being so honest and transparent with answering those questions. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. Thank you. Thank you. Do y'all have any questions for me? Would y'all like to leave some comments or anything before we close out?
I just think this is awesome. When John told me about what you were doing, I was like, Just okay. And now that, I've experienced, I think this is a good vehicle to help people.
Thank
And
you.
so that you are looking to help couples, come together and help other couples. I think that's a great concept. So
And like I tell people, I definitely don't want the one thing I don't want to happen with this as it grows is that people start putting titles on me. I'm not a relationship expert. I don't even care to be one. I don't want to be, oh, he's the relationship of the marriage. No, I'm not, because I'm still working on my stuff. You feel me? And this actually helps me and helps us. So I don't want that on me. I don't want nobody telling the people who are a fan of this platform, don't put that on me. I don't want that responsibility. I don't. I'm humble by this experience. I'm dealing with it, and it's speaking to the choir. I'm taking the information that I get from here and hopefully applying it to my own marriage. When we run into problems, and to be able to laugh at other people like, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying? We've been through that. We got through that. You know what I'm saying? Like this helps us as well. So I just want to make sure, I want to put that out there now. Don't put no relationship, nothing on me. I'm not no relationship guru. I don't want to be. This is just me facilitating and hopefully gathering information, sharing with other people, and that it grows and helps other people. God knows what he wants with this, and that's where I want it to go. Griselda, if you wouldn't mind, kind of give us your takeaways from this.
Well, my takeaways is patience. I heard patience through this process. I heard, love is grand. Can be grand the second time around. I mean, we can all attest to that.
Yes.
So those are my major takeaways from this. Like the word says, love is patient and love is kind. And I think you all have shared your hearts about the patience of changing and transitioning at different stages of your life and coming together, and how that gave you a great foundation. It's kind of like when you're going through some stuff, you really understand who your friends are, or who's the people that are going to be there for you. And that's what I heard him say, that she was there for me. She helped me through that process, and that solidified the foundation in our marriage. So I think that's a great takeaway for today.
Yeah. All right. Well, and true Black Marriage Chronicle fashion, we definitely want to make sure God is always at the center of everything we do, at least for me. So I want to have, because Miss Griselda is I always want to call you a pastor, but you're a
evangelist.
Okay, close enough. All right, we're gonna have the evangelist to go ahead and pray us out of here before we exit.
All right. We're just thanking God for this gathering today. He has been very gracious and blessed us in this moment. Just being able to share our hearts with others who may need help, who have gone through some things or are going through some things, and just allowing us to use our platform as a vessel to help those who may be in need, being blessed to be a blessing. And we just thank God for this couple today, the Loves. Which, God talks about love all throughout the Bible. So we know that this was ordained for them to be here today. And so we just thank God for this couple. We ask that you bless their family as they continue to come together as one family, blending together, and just that you keep your arms and your hedge around them as they grow together as a unit. And just bless our host here, that you will continue to give him vision, and do what he needs to do. And for everyone who we touch, we ask that you bless them. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
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 Amen. Yes. So y'all can look for another invite from me, Miss John and Denita Love. I want y'all back on. Give it some time. I got to talk to some other couples, but I'm definitely circling back with y'all. Y'all was fun. Y'all was really fun.
Thank you. One thing we do is we laugh with each other. We laugh about each other with each other.
Yeah.
We have some of our crazy quirks, and we point them out and just find them hilarious a lot of times.
So. Listen, it's important to do that. Like I was saying, the premise of the show, it's funny now. Like I said, those moments, even when they're not funny, because me and my wife have some moments that just they wasn't funny. They still ain't funny. It wasn't funny then. It ain't funny now. But they have definitely shaped who we are as a couple. who we are as individuals, you know, and how to be able to navigate things moving forward, you know. So yeah, I definitely I get it, you know. But with that, I do want to tell everybody, go have a nice day. Thank you again for coming on. And we'll see you next time.
All right, you guys take care.
You.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.